Hey guys, so housing sales, interest rates, what's happening out there locally? Let's talk about it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tim Higham, a local realtor here in Prince George, BC. Before I get into the June 2024 housing update, if you'd like to chat about your own real estate leads, I'd love to connect with you. Call or text me at the number below. Okay, so we'll be looking at statistics from the BC Northern Real Estate Board for detached houses within the city limits of Prince George. Okay, I just want to touch a little bit more on what's been going on locally and nationally that's affecting the market right now. You know, we always look at the stats really quick, and that's a snapshot, and it's great. I did have some comments on, hey, why don't you try, a little longer format and talk a little bit more things in depth. So, all right, last week we saw the first interest rate decrease in 5 years, I believe it was. We came down 0.25%. That's not a huge decrease, but it is the start of something significant. I think that a lot of buyers, sellers alike, have been waiting and anticipating a change in interest rates to spark interest and activity in the market. And inevitably that will happen as the cost of lending comes down. The cost of homes will probably slide up and activity will follow that. So that is definitely one thing to consider here. As you're sitting on the market, you're a buyer, you've been waiting for interest rates to come down, and that's great. Keep in mind at the same time, when the cost of lending goes down, likely the cost to purchase will increase. So there's a little bit of a double-edged sword there to take into account, right? Sellers, of course, the lower interest rates go, likely the better it will be on the seller side. Inventory in general, if you've been watching these reports for a while, look back a year, look back a couple years, you're going to see that really, relatively speaking, inventory has been pretty low the entire time. We're not at a historical low inventory right now, but we are at a low inventory. If you're out there looking for a home in any price range, except for, I would say, the top tier, let's say for Prince George, 800 plus, okay? There's some inventory up there, and there's more homes to be found. But if you're in the 400 to 700 range, you're going to have a handful of homes to look at. There's not going to be an overwhelming amount of inventory at any point when you start a buying journey right now, and there hasn't been for quite some time. You know what? What's affecting that? We seem to have a shortage of housing in Canada overall. We have a lot of immigration coming in. We haven't been building as rapidly probably as we should have been to support that growth. And we're sitting here with just less houses overall. So buyers that do want to get into the market, they're fighting for these quality homes. And honestly, there's just fewer good quality homes than you would like. When I take out a buyer, I tell them that we're going to probably have 10 homes to look at and one of them might be good. And so, while I talk about that, sellers, for you, consider that if there's 10 homes on the market, you have to be that one that stands out. There's work to do on preparations. It matters to get your home ready and prepared in the ideal ways to stand out to buyers and to get that best market price for you, to get the best favorable terms for you in the deal that you're securing in the listing of your home, and the best timeline overall. So if you're looking into these things, connect with me. I'd love to answer your questions. I really enjoy this stuff. If you want to learn a little bit, just let me know. Anyways, I hope this was a helpful addition on top of the usual report that I do. And please do leave me a comment if you like this format and if you'd like me just to speak candidly on what I see happening in the local marketplace more regularly. I'm going to run through the numbers quickly, and then as always, I'll give some thoughts on how this might impact you as a buyer or a seller. So let's go. We had 85 sales in May compared to 83 last year. That's an increase of 2.4%. Active listings were at 273 compared to 252 last year. That's an increase of 8.3%. New listings are at 170 compared to 136, an increase of 25%. Average days on market were at 42 compared to 50. That's down 16%. Percent of original price was at 97.2 compared to 96.3. That is up 0.9%. Price per square foot was at $234 compared to $218 last year. That's an increase of 7.3%. Sales to actives ratio, now remember this is a good indicator of overall activity, was at 0.31 compared to 0.33 last year. That's a decrease of 5.5%, but really a very similar level of activity. Supply was sitting at 4.6 months compared to 4.4 months last year, an increase of 4.5%, but again, very similar. And the average sales price was at $531K compared to $498K last year. That's resulting in a 6.5% increase. So, what does all this mean for you? Buyers, prices are remaining relatively stable, but that could change or may continue to change here as the Bank of Canada just made an announcement about lowering the interest rate by 0.25%. Now, we have yet to see how that's going to play out exactly, but I would anticipate a little bit of pickup in the market, a little bit more of consumer confidence. You will see some competition out there as inventory is still low enough to create a bit of a feeding frenzy for homes that are priced under market value in the hottest price ranges, which I would say was between 400 to 600K, though in the last week I've seen multiple offers in the high 600s also. Sellers, for you, consider the market to be a little softer than anticipated at this time of year, likely because some of those buyers are waiting around to see how things play out with these changes in interest rates. But generally, depending on the price range your home falls into, I would suggest pricing a little on the lower side currently, as homes priced just a touch high seem to be sitting on the market and not getting the activity needed to get it sold. All right, well, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.